Hey everybody, I won a League Cup today. Yay! I played a fun, quirky deck of my own. Currently based on the standings in the season. Okay, well, first off, I played Glazard, and it is a not good deck, but I did win the League Cup. So today's video is going to be all about me talking about my matchups, my breakdown, why I played the deck I did, and how you can still win with a deck that people might discount and might be kind of unorthodox and run of the mill. So my local scene has been playing kind of all over the place decks. A lot of Miraidon sometimes. Sometimes there's Lost Box, Kyogre. Sometimes they play Sealstone. Sometimes it's just Lost Box. And recently they've been on an Arcadura and Single Strike Lugia kick. So in my mind, I was thinking, hey, I really want to play Zard. I haven't had a chance to play Zard. It's been quite a while. And this format is about to come to a close. I'm focusing on LAIC format. I'm focusing on Paradox Rift, ancient Pokemon, future Pokemon. You got to get rid of the ancient, look to the future. Look, whatever. And so I'm cooking, and I'm talking to my boy Victor like pretty constantly. Victor Ong, you guys can see him on Twitter. And I had this list I had sent him quite a while ago. This is my list that I had worked on for a little bit. He added some ideas that he took from Jake Gearhart, some other people. Shout out to Nico as well, because Nico told me about the Saguaro idea before he played in Lille, because he played the Saguaro in his list. So I had a couple ideas come a bunch of ways. I don't know why this Charmander's in here, by the way. I just I just took it from Azul's list, but I don't really think he's that good. I don't know why he's in here, but whatever. I don't know how Blood made the team. But this cup was actually very important because I had one open cup finish, and per this win, I end up moving to number 3 in North America, heading into the Latin American International Championships, with a couple more tournaments potentially to iron out my name, go to number 1, become the best player in North America, heading into Latin American International Championships. Something I have never been. I've never been number 1 in the standings. It would be really cool to be that. That being said, I settled on this list because there's a lot of cards I've already been testing. We didn't really put so much more time into it. I suggested Raihan, and Victor argued with me, said that Arven is better for more situations, and we play one Vitality Band, so it's going to find that anyway, and the Raihan is more situational, and we can't really use it the way we want to use it, so I agreed with him, and I budged, and we played Arven. We had a Cheryl in here original, but Saguaro made a lot more sense, especially with only 6 fires. Made it a lot easier to pull that off. We had 4 Ralts for the 4-3-2 Gallade line, but I think in retrospect, the 4th Ralt should have become a 4th Charmander, just because I had a lot of issues finding Charmanders in the early games, and that actually made my games a lot more difficult, and I did not really feel happy to see more than 2 Ralts in any given setup. Echoing Horn was actually pretty insane at winning games. Everything else about the list felt super insane. I was pretty happy about the whole thing. Saguaro is there for, it heals 50 from 2 Pokemon. It is there for the Lost Box matchup. And yeah, just a really cool card. Victor played this list with 4 Jet Energies and 1 Research. Game time decision, I decided to play 2 Research because consistency is king. I just wanted to have another way to just set up early game because I feel like this is one of those decks where if you actually set up, it's really hard to lose. So I chose that route. So it's a 6-round League Cup, about 43 Masters, starting at 4 p.m. So pretty late in the evening, a little bit of a late one. I come in, we're cooking. I'm not super confident in this deck, especially as soon as round 1 ends and I'm walking around the room because the meta is a lot of Lost Box, a lot of Qian Pao, and I'm going to get absolutely destroyed. Round 1, I go up against Gardevoir. And this player is really nice, really cool, awesome. We played, and halfway through the turn 1, they go, I'm going to be honest with you, I think I am playing the wrong 60 than what I submitted, so I'm probably going to concede this anyway. And I was like, don't worry about it, let's just play and we can figure it out after. They end up getting triple Ralts out, Ultra Balling away an Iono, and an important card, and passing. I got to go first and went double VIP pass setup. Went turn 2 Candy Zard, because I had Mew in the active. Was able to retreat the Mew. Set up, I think I got 1 Curly out, not 2. And I was able to get Charmeleon out, so my start is really good. I knock out the Ralts. They throw up the Ralts attached to it, memory skip, and I was like, wait, they Ultra Balled an Iono? I don't really know what happened. They said they tunnel vision and getting Greninja out and drawing more cards because they didn't really want Iono, but I don't really know what happened there. But I ended up winning that one pretty handedly. My setup was really good, flawless, Game 2, I end up going up against Lost Box Turbo. This player has played Miraidon at pretty much every local tournament, actually, up till now. So I expected her to be playing Miraidon, but she flipped over Lost Box. I ended up letting her take back a lot of mistakes throughout the game, and I think that might just be something I do at locals, so I need to kind of get better at that, because I just feel like cups and challenges, you shouldn't, not let them do stuff. My opponent nestballed for a Charmander. She was playing Lost Box Zard EX, and then she shuffled up, and then, a whole 30 seconds later she can actually get Cramorant, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. So she got the first prize, and later in the game She got Sableye into the active, began to put Lost Mind damage on my board, and I was like, you only have 8 in the Lost Mind. She's like, can I play this chorus? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. I need to stop doing that. That's like once the attack phase has been declared, like you're in those phases. But it almost cost me the game, which is kind of crazy. But Saguaro actually came in clutch, and I was able to heal perfect damage because if she was able to go 3 Sableyes or Sableye Cram, she actually would have won the game on me because of a hanging Ralts that I couldn't evolve at a certain point. Like I was looking for a Gallade or like a Corlia, and I just couldn't get there. So it ended up benefiting me, and I was like, we won that one. Go to 2-0. I had Chris Franco, who's playing Lost Box. Chris offers the ID. We take the ID. I felt like that matchup probably isn't the greatest. With Saguaro, it's probably actually so super fine. I just feel like if you don't find Candy Zard turn 2, you're in like a pickle. But I guess like that's the situation anyway in a lot of matchups. So maybe I was just being a choke artist and kind of a wussy. And so I take the ID, go to 201, and which means I have to win 2 of my next 3, which was the goal anyway, right? And then round 4, I go up against Gibby, who's playing Chen Pao. My worst matchup, but Gibby goes attached pass to Chen Pao, and I'm like, oh my god, I have a chance. I set up pretty marginally well. He gets his start going, knocks out my active, which then gives me the Vitality Band response if I have it. I whiff, and then he kills something else, and then he gets the Cologne Switcher play the following turn, and I lost. It was just like pretty bad. I actually never got a Zard into play, which was pretty crazy. I like just didn't set up. It felt really bad. Didn't go well. Round 5, I go up against oh dude, yeah, okay. This was a player who's newer. He came back to the game after a long time, and I'm like, okay, cool, maybe he's playing like something janky. The cards he flips over here in every other scenario I'd be elated to see, but he flipped over a Bulbasaur and a Bulbasaur, and I was like, what is about to happen to me? And he attaches to Bulbasaur and passes. And I'm like, okay, sick. So I do my whole turn. I knock out the Bulbasaur. He has a Bulbasaur in the active, nothing else. He draws for turn and goes, okay, this is playable. Nest Balls for like a Lilligant V. I have no idea what these cards do, by the way. Attaches to the Lilligant V and passes. Or no, he Jet Energies to the active and like draws the same number of cards to match my hand size or something like that. And I'm like, what? I have a Gallade on board. I have 2 Curlias. My board is set up like to high hell. I have Mew on board, 2 Curlias, Gallade, 2 Zards now. Like my board is insane. However, my Charizard EX has this really unfortunate thing called grass type weakness. So I bossed the Bulbasaur because I don't know what Venusaur does. Take the knockout. He evolves to hit his Human Lilligant to V-Star, attaches, uses the V-Star, which gets him 5 grass dudes and 5 energy. I puts 2 Bulbasaurs down and then passes back to me. I hit into the Lilligant. He attaches, one-shots my Zard. I one-shot the Lilligant. He Candy Venusaurs, attaches to it, and passes. And I'm like, oh, sick. And I go Horn Boss for game. So if he had 2 more turns to attach or Gardenia's Vigor, I probably actually lose that game. Just based on the fact that I have Grass-type weakness. So I was actually sweating bullets. In that singular match. So the Venusaur guy actually probably gave me the biggest run for my money on the day. Crazy, I know. And then round 6, I go up against Chris Leandro, a really good friend of mine, and he's playing Sablezard. The starts are mediocre. I end up getting ahead, and he is matching tempo. Takes a Cram knockout, takes a Sableye knockout. The damage is adding up pretty quickly. Saguaro doesn't matter in this matchup because he has Mew EX, and I know he does. So he is setting up for the Mew EX play. He whiffs. He goes for a Hail Mary with Roxanne Rope, throws my Mew into the active. He's at 2. I'm at 1. If I hit an energy, I win. I just drew my 2. I drew for turn. I Mew this, get a Super Rod, all my energies back into the deck, shuffle up, and I pass. And he is 1 card off exactly of getting 2 Dragonite, or Mew even, sorry, and winning the game. Because I think his flower selecting was Roxanne Rod, so he needed that Rod to win the game. And so he goes attached to Mew, pass, meaning that he just has boss next turn to win the game. So he Clara's back the energy, sorry, that turn. Clara attach, so he has boss the following turn to just win the game. I go draw, slam the energy, knock it out. So I got super lucky and bailed out there to win that, actually. Crazy game. So now I'm 4-1-1. No free dubs here. Every game has been close. I go into top 8. I'm up against Lost Box Charizard EX, actually. Don't know why this deck's so popular. The first game, I have to give up 2 prizes pretty early because I have a really slow setup. But I get the first hit into their Zard EX. They hit into my Zard EX. I jet energy up to the new one. I hit into it. Take a knockout. He hits up, comes up, hit me with Cram. I Saguaro that turn. I knock out the Cram. He Sableye damages. I Palpad Saguaro again, making it so like my board is pretty invincible to any Sableye plays from here on out. And they never actually established a second Zard. And if they put another one down, I was just going to boss it instead of Saguaroing. So I end up going to... I win. And then game 2, very similar story. They take the first 2 prizes. I get the first boss on Zard EX. I hit. They boss my Zard EX, actually take the knockout that they've hit into already or put some damage into already. Go to 2, and then I Iono, and they get stuck on the Iono. Like, I know that their deck doesn't have great ways to draw a lot of cards, so I get stuck. I can stick them on the Iono. I think he was playing Radzard and not Greninja, so I knew that. So I knew he had no way to draw cards if I put him in that situation, and it worked. So I got pretty lucky to scrape that one out, won that game. Top 4, I go up against Brendan, who's playing Lost Box Turbo as well. Game 1 becomes a free win for me because he goes Sableye, Pokestop, Scratch. I don't get the KO because I whiffed the Candy Zard. He goes Pokestop, Scratch. And so I get the first KO. Feels great. Game 2 is a really close back and forth. I get double Candy Zard. I have a Ralts in play. He takes the knockout. I get the Rod. I'm thinking about rodding back the Ralts that turn. I'm like, no, he has to have Horn exactly right now, which he does, which sucks. So he takes the prize. Now all he needs is 1 Zard knockout. So now he does a bunch of weird math with Sableye and Cram and everything to make, or not Cram, just Sableye's, to put both my Zards at 80-80. So now that a Dragonite will close out the game. And I find Saguaro, and I use it to go to 30-30 left. And so Dragonite can't knock me out for game. And once again, I'm bailed out by the Saguaro. I got a free win game 1, and then that helps out game 2. Brandon's a good Lost Box player, so it's very tough to win from that position. For him, obviously. Saguaro actually clutched up really hard. Actually, probably the MVP of today. I win that. Go to finals. I'm up against Gibby playing Chanpao again. Gibby goes ahead and wants to go home early, so he just ends up conceding to me because he knows I need the points a little bit more, and he was just like, it's fine, man. Like, you need these points. You're going for stipend, whatever. So I really appreciate that from Gibby. He's like, off the second, I get halfway to my invite too. So obviously, huge shout out to Gibby. It pays to be good friends with your locals and nice to your locals, I think, because I honestly didn't expect that. I expected to get my my butt beat in like 10 minutes, honestly, and to go home with a second in my pocket, and I was gonna be like, whatever, second place isn't bad with this deck. Wouldn't be able to complain. But yeah, I ended up winning, picked up a champion Meowscarada mat, and a lot of store credit with a Gallade Zard. So this is like my pet deck I've been working on all format. It has been pretty bad, unfortunately, so you haven't seen me bring it to a regionals or anything. But I did win a League Cup with Saguaro. Saguaro Refinement Zard, I think is what I'll call the deck. But thank you guys for watching. It's another step in my journey to the World Championships. I'm at 561 championship points, which puts me 39 points away from my World Championship invite. I am, however, now 6 cups and 6 challenge finishes. My 6 challenge finishes are 4 firsts, 2 seconds. My cup finishes are 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a top 4, and a top 8. So I have to, unfortunately, win both those 2 cups, I think, to proceed to my invite. If I don't do that, then I can just pick that up anywhere else down the road. I have 2 regional finishes open. I have 3 internationals I'm heading to. But the big goal is let's try to go be number 1 North America at the end of Latin American International Championships. Thank you guys for watching. As always, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. And let me know how your season's going and if you have a pet deck that you're working on. So see you guys in the Paradox Rift. Peace out.